Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Well, I decided to come on very briefly and talk to you guys about lesson planning because recently I have been sharing on my Homeschooling Oils Facebook page and Instagram as well about these different freebies that you guys can actually get. Now, the next step is what exactly do or can you do with all of those free printables that you are receiving? Now, I don't even know if I can still be seen in the camera once I sit down. I'm trying to go over there, and I will not be able to see your comments once I go in over here. Curtis, could you come in here for a minute and make sure that they can see me? Because I am working alone today. So I hope you guys are having a great Sunday because I am lesson planning. Okay. Oh. Can they see me?
No, I gotta move this up.
Move it up. Okay. Not too far down now.
All right, they see you.
All right, you guys. I'm going to try to do the very best that I can because, as you can see, I did not think this through enough on how I can actually show you all of this. So, I am right now, so you're seeing it good, you're seeing it raw on how I actually get or how I actually build a curriculum from the ground up. Many of you, like me, are on a budget and you are looking for ways in which you can totally build your own curriculum on a budget very cheaply or free perhaps. And so I tell you about all the different things that you can actually get for free and on a discount. Now, this video in particular is about the recent freebies that I have been telling you about, and many of you have told me that you have received yours. So yay! So you got yours as well. You know my motto, I always test it out before I tell you about it. So the next step is, what do you exactly do with all of this once you actually get it? Because after a while, if you have been following me, you already know that I told you about the free stamps, and I also told you about the videos and different stuff like that. I am preparing for, well, I already have things for my child, for my daughter who's in high school now, for a government class. But what I had, I really didn't like what I had because it was kind of dry. And I was like, this is not working. And so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to build something. I saw where you can actually get different things from this particular company. Let me see what the name of it is. It is called the Postal History Foundation. They are amazing. You pick what you want and they actually send it to you. Now, I don't know where you guys got, but I did this one dealing with geography, the U.S. government, the 3 branches of government, the Buffalo Soldiers. I also have a sheet that they sent me about just having fun with stamps that also came along with a little paper. I have the New Deal, and I have the Renaissance. My son or my daughter, one of them said they want to learn about the Renaissance. And I also have just stamps for reading. Also, we have some more things that we're going to carry on Black History into this month here. And we also have something about the Native Americans and also Hispanic history. So we're going to be learning about different cultures. So with that being said, how do I actually put all of this together once I actually get it? Let me find my notebook, which I have a notebook, as you can see. This is real time. So I get my notebook and I just try to figure out what I want to be my foundation out of all my freebies. Like, what is the core, or what do I want to start with first, and then what do I actually want to build on after that? So I really want to start with development of the U.S. government. Why? Because that's what she needs to know in reference to that. And then we're going to branch off and do the 3 branches of government. And as you can see, all of these have the stamps to go with them. It has the answer key, It has the free printable, what the child will actually need to use, and it has how it's supposed to look after you get finished here for the parent. So you don't have to read through the information and then find the answers yourself. They already have it for you. Of course, if you have more than one child, you can make copies of this, which I am. And then we also going to be learning about the presidents, because that goes along with government as well. And so they have this and the stamps to go with it when she's actually going to be doing the presidents. I'm going to make a copy of this so later on when I need it with my son, I already have it. And so I take that and I take this and then I write it down. Because remember, I decided that my focal point is going to be the development of U.S. government. So I write that down first. And then next, I write down what's going to be my side things that I'm going to do. After we understand this, then I find out what I'm actually going to branch off of. And I'm going to actually, okay, I'm going to branch off. I'm going to use this as my foundation. Then I'm going to branch off. Once she has a thorough understanding of this, I'm going to branch off to the 3 branches of government. That's going to be my branch. 1 branch, actually. 3 branches of government. And then, which is not hard at all, you always want to have a mixture of something that's difficult, something that's medium, and something that's easy for the child. Because if you notice, if they start having trouble and they lack the confidence, then you can give them something to kind of give them like a brain break. So I already know that U.S. Presidents is not going to be difficult for my high schooler. So I will do this as a hands-on activity that she can build on with a writing assignment. She can pick one particular president that she wants to highlight. You can go many different ways, find a documentary on it. But this is going to be my brain break. This is going to be my brain break, something that I know that she can actually do alone. Say, for example, something come up in the day or the week when you're homeschooling, because you know it's going to happen. This could be something that she can actually do on her own. Of course, you can do these as well, but I want something that's super duper easy, that could be fun in a way, to make a topic that she really don't care for that much, to make it kind of fun, to make it fun. That's why I decided to go with something else, because we have a traditional high school government book. Yes, I will be using it to pull certain facts out of it, and also worksheets as well. But I also wanted something that was more hands-on, because my children learn better when it's hands-on. So I wanted to have something that I can build. I want to build my own and make sure I'm hitting all that topics using the textbook that we really don't care for, to kind of flip it to bring those topics to life. So if you notice that you're doing a subject or a topic, and I wish I could see your comments, you guys, so I'm sorry about that. If you're ever studying a subject or topic, regardless of the grade level, and you notice with the regular textbook that although you're covering the information, but it's still dry and it's like you're going through the motions, and like you're teaching and then it's go through one ear and out the other, that's a great indication letting you know that you need to jazz it up a little bit. You need to think more outside the box, because it's not appealing to the child. So I noticed that was going on, so that's why I decided to do this. Now, if you saw one of my previous videos, I also told you about this, what I got from Amazon. So I'm going to be branching off when we get solely into the U.S. Constitution. We are going to be doing this, just using this and the back. And she also has a copy word of the U.S. Constitution. And I got this freebie, the Constitution and Executive Power. So this will be the documentary that I will be looping in to give her that visual that she needs in order to help her think better. And also my son too, and it also helps me as well, because I can't do all of that same stuff, and especially if it's not a topic that really is appealing to me. So this is what she will use with everything. And everything, what I love about this company is that everything is labeled. So you don't have to worry about trying to have a pile of stamps and trying to figure out which stamp go with which, because they have everything labeled. They have answer key, handwritten answer keys. It's going to go into all the different things in details. You don't have to try to figure this out. And if you need to make this a little bit more in depth, you want to go a little bit deeper, want to peruse a little bit deeper, because here in my state of South Carolina, we do have to teach U.S. history as well. So this will be a good blending topic when you're doing government, U.S. government, to also do U.S. history, because they both coincide together. You will notice how a lot of things that was relevant and happened within U.S. history, the government is kind of going to go, it's going to kind of intermingle together. So as I see where U.S. history is tying in with U.S. government, I will bring that out. So when we go over U.S. history as one of her subjects for another year, we will already have a heads up on it, so to speak, with that particular topic, because we tie everything pretty much in little by little. And we also have the textbook as well. Now with my son, I also have the American poets too. I thought this would be nice to blend in with the U.S. government to give a kind of, when things start getting a little bit humdrum, you need something a little bit different just to switch up for a little while. Because if you're doing something repetitive with visual learners, active learners, and you're doing it too much, the same thing too long, you get to a point where it's stagnant and it's not going anywhere. So it's not a good idea to keep going at it. It's a good idea to stop for that moment and just let it rest for a little while, and then once everything get a little bit more settled, then go back to it. You'll have another appreciation for it. So if that happens, I always have a plan B waiting. So if I know if we doing all of these things, these heavy topics about U.S. government, and I know this is getting really, really heavy and it's getting a little bit too overwhelming, because we're going to dig even deeper than this, because remember, I do have a high school textbook as well. But I noticed that it's getting a little overwhelming. I will also give her essential oils to help ease her tension. But along those lines, I will also have a plan B. And that's why I got the American Writers and Poets chart that comes with the stamps as well, because my daughter loves to write. She loves to write poetry. She loves to write stories. So I know that this will be a great break for her to kind of get her back acclimated to the U.S. government if the U.S. government lesson becomes too overwhelming at the moment. Now, with my son, we are hitting geography. We already been doing geography, but I want to change it up and give it a different spin. So he is about to do U.S. history. And so with him doing U.S. history, I wanted to also include geography with it too. Keep in mind, with both of my children, I have traditional textbooks that I go to as a reference to make sure I hit what I need to hit, but I do add my own flavor to it based on their unique learning style. So with that being said, first thing I have is geography vocabulary. Remember, my son is very, very visual, very active in reference to how he learns. So I have to kind of really switch around how I do things with him in particular, and even with my daughter, but especially him. So geography vocabulary words is going to be hands-on. It's not too much information because he has dyslexia too, so that can be a challenge. So I make sure the print is large. I make sure that it's not too much, but it gets straight to the point, because he's a very direct child and he likes to get to the point. So we get to the point, get to the meat of the topic, and then have something that he can do hands-on, which he thrives with. So that is what I'm going to do with this, along with the stamps. We also have an amazing geography visual encyclopedia that we're going to use. Now, to bring that U.S. history to life, we have a U.S. history. We got from A to Z, and it talks about Arizona. Now, we have already started the first part of this with Arizona. We're thoroughly enjoying it. I have a book about all the different states. I read that to him as he is working through his topic, the states, the flags, and all that stuff like that. So as a hands-on that we're doing this week, we will be doing this Arizona from A to Z, talking solely about Arizona more. And as you can see, it has short, precise things and it's hands-on. So it's going to be right up his alley. Another thing I'm going to add is the Buffalo Soldiers to it, because you know boys like action, right? So I'm going to add this to his, and we're also going to integrate with U.S. history, because as you can see, this is talking about Native Americans, and it talks about all the various places within the United States that the Native Americans lived in during a certain period of time. So as we hit these areas within our U.S. history, I will also add this into it. I also have U.S. history DVD that he can watch, and we're going to discuss, and also have short writing things that he will do. My son is more, he types really, really well. So if I notice, because he has dysgraphia too, so if I notice where the writing is getting a little too much, I'll say, okay, go ahead and type it, because he can get through typing it way, way quicker than writing sometimes. It just depends on what day it is. So that is how I build curriculum around the freebies that I get. Of course, we do Black History all the time, 365 days of the year. So we're going to be building on using our flashcards as well. This, the Renaissance is really for my daughter as well. She's doing fine arts. So this will be something that we're adding on her fine arts study to give her a different perspective in reference to art. And so that's why I got that. They have so many good things though. That's why it's just so hard to pick. Also, they have the PowerPoint that they sent us as well. So all of this is already ready to go. And keep in mind, yes, I have all of this planned for this upcoming school week. But you know how life happens. Sometimes you're not able to get to everything that you planned during a particular week, because life happens. If that is the case, then what I will do is just carry it on until we finish it. So if, say for example, we get through 3 of these things or 4 of these things into detail how I would like for it to go with them, then we will just carry on the rest of the things next. But sometimes it just depends on the week. Sometimes we get through everything very, very quickly, and sometimes it takes a little while. It just depends on what's going on in our life at the moment and how the week is going, how the flow is going, based on how much we will actually get done in that particular time frame. So I have no problem with adjusting my schedule, because that's the beauty of homeschooling. Sometimes you have to adjust and be flexible and move things around a little bit. And so the good thing is, if you do have to carry something over, that's some planning that you don't have to do for the next week. So it's a win-win situation, whether you get it completely done in 1 week or not. Alrighty, now let's go on. Oh, I forgot, we're going to do the New Deal too. That's for U.S. government. Alrighty, now let's talk about that freebie that we have dealing with the Federal Reserve. You guys, if you haven't gotten it yet, you need to go ahead and get it. Now, this is not all the stuff. This is just the first order that I ordered from them. They have these things. I forgot what they call them, because they don't call these posters. They call them something else. I think they call it information graphics or something like that. Well, anyway, I want you to see these because they are amazing. So, we are learning economics. Yes, I have a middle schooler and a high schooler. It's required in high school, but it's not required in middle. However, I think economics is very, very important. Economics is one of my favorite topics. I didn't realize that until I had to actually teach it, and I started learning more about it. And I love the topic of economics. Not so much government, even though they are blended in some cases. However, I absolutely love the topic of economics. It's one of my favorite topics. And it's one of my favorite topics in particular to talk with children about, because if you understand economics and how money flows and how the government in reference to do these things with money and how credit works and all that, you can overcome a lot of trial and error that I had to go through and learn the hard way, or you can prevent a lot of things for your kiddos if they have a good financial foundation, at least know the basics. And so I like these because it provides that visual content that you know I need in my homeschool, and it also it can stand alone in the reference, and well, it can't stand totally alone, but if you look at it like this, each particular this is the topic. This could be your complete lesson plan, the way it's done. And you're saying, how can that be? Okay, when you're talking about gross domestic products, what do countries measure out? What do countries measure output? Or how do they measure their output? I'm sorry. The first part of this can be your first lesson that you do. You can carry it on how long you want. It can be a week discussion or 2 weeks discussion, and you can build units around this. Then you come and then you discuss this topic. Then you come and you discuss this topic. Then you come and you discuss this topic. So as you can see, your work is already mapped out for you, whether you want to do it all in one time or if you want to break it up into little segments. I personally like to break things up in segments to make sure that they understand. Now, I also come with these amazing books, right? So you can have one topic where you're talking about money, one talking about globalization, one talking about international trade, and one talking about the first Bank of the United States. I am going to build this along with the U.S. history for my son, but I'm also going to pull my daughter in on this as well because this is high school level. And so that is how we're going to actually do that. And we have this called Dollars and Cents. We already had done one of these where they pick a different career. It tells you the career, how much schooling, and all that good stuff on how much you make a year. And go alongside with this brochure. This is an excellent economics, life skills, freebie that you can use. And they have more than this. This is just all what I have right now. And they even have this part that I forgot to tell you that I'm actually adding to my daughter's government, where it talks about the Fed explained. So when we get to the branches of government and all that, I will pull out this poster as another visual, and we will talk about each topic, do a little research, and at the end have her write a short paper on that or give an oral presentation on this topic. And it just has all different kind of stuff, like what is credit, what is an entrepreneur, why budget, all of these. You can do it all at one time, or you can say, okay, week 1 we're going over this. You can plan this by month. You can plan this by the weeks. It just depends on what works for you best. And some topics you would want to stretch out more, and some you don't want to stretch out. It just depends on how much your kiddos like it versus not liking the particular topic. I love economics, so I will actually, I don't even know how long we're going to do it. My kids are pretty good with economics because we have been doing quite a bit with them for the last couple of years, little tidbits over the years. And so that is actually how you build a curriculum around the freebies. Of course, there's many different ways that you can actually do this, but this is just I was hoping this was a quick video because I can't see how much time it is. But this is just a video to give you kind of like something to get your ideas flowing. Sometimes it takes you to see someone else in the midst of doing it in real time, to see them fumble or think things through in front of you, so to let you see that it's not hard. Sometimes we feel like I could never make a lesson plan for myself. I could never ever build a curriculum. Yes, you can. If you are living, you can do it, because I guarantee you are making things happen at home every single day. And without you, your house will not flow good, because mama keeps things going, okay? So, and I'm not going to forget my dads out there, because I do have some dads on here. You too. You have your part too. So, if you can do all of that and take care of the kiddos and manage the budget and guess what? You have just created your lesson plan. And so when you get these freebies, because I know a lot of my following are on a very tight budget. or you are trying to figure out ways to lessen what you actually have to put into buying curriculum. This is an amazing resource that has a variety of different ways that you can go about it. I hope this video of me on this floor help you guys see how easy it is to make a lesson plan, how easy it is to build a lesson plan, and how easy it is to blend topics together and branch it all to what you need as a homeschooling family. Not what Tina needs or us at Homeschooling Oils or someone else. No, you design it and you build it and customize it around your child's unique learning style, around your life, around your time, that will best suit your family. You can take these tips and then you can move on and customize it to make it great for you. And also you can copy. I don't care if you copy what I said. I don't care. But I just want to just do this, and I have some more lesson planning to do. Of course, this was only 2 topics. This was just only three. This was 3 topics. This was our economics, our government, and geography. So now I need to get done with math, which is not hard because I use Learn Math Fast as our basis. That's our foundation, the textbook that we use. And then and by the way, if you want to try Learn Math Fast, you can go test it out at learnmathfastbooks.com and see. I think they have some things that you can test out. And also, if you decide you want to get it, you can get a discount by using my coupon code HSOILS. That's H as in Harry, S as in Sam, Oils, OILS, and you will get 10% off your order. So with that being said, I will be building flashcards. I have some worksheets, and I have some DVDs that I am going to blend in, and also some board games that I acclimate or put into the curriculum when I see they need a little brain break, have a little fun with math. And then for language arts, we will be doing kinetic spelling for active learners. We also have some writing things that we also do, and we will be doing, and by the way, you can get kinetic spelling for active learners from Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And we will be using a little bit of, I can't remember what else I'm going to use. I'm thinking about trying something else for LA, like as a basis, something I can like follow their textbook on, just basic brushing up on parts of speech and stuff like that. So we'll be doing some reviewing. I just haven't figured out which one I'm going to use yet. So after I get off, I'll figure that out. And use what you have. So I'm going to go down to my classroom, and I am going to see everything that I have on the topic of grammar. And I'm gonna see what I'm actually going to use this week in reference to that, because I want to put to use the things that I already have. And I encourage you to do the same thing, because many times we get so caught up with what's new and what's the new best greatest thing that we don't use the things that we have, and we don't even know if they'll work if we don't ever try them. Right. So try what you have first. And if you don't have anything to try, search online to see can you find something free or relatively inexpensive, and then work with that first. And then if you see what that is not working, then you go up and try something that's a little bit more pricey when you have no other options. That's what I do. I only go up and spend more when I have no other choice. So with that being said, you guys, I hope this helped you get your little mind going in reference, because we're gonna have an amazing homeschooling week, right? Yes, we are. We are all gonna have an amazing homeschooling week, regardless of what type of homeschool we are. Relax, unschool, whatever the case may be. I personally like to have a plan. I might not always follow the plan exactly like I anticipate. However, I like to have something to fall back on to kind of keep me focused and keep me on track. Some homeschoolers don't need that. I am a person who needs to plan. I don't have to necessarily always follow it to the T, because with kids and with life happening, you can't always do that. Now, of course, I love doing that, but you know how life happens. And if you have been homeschooling for a while, you know what I'm talking about. So you have to learn to be flexible and make it work, right? So I am getting ready to go, and I am going to go on my Homeschooling and Oils page and show you guys something amazing on how it can totally, something that can totally help your budget. So many of you want a dry erase board. So I was checking into dry erase boards, and let me tell you, for a large dry erase board, it is like around about $100 something, $200 something. I'm like, oh no, oh no. So I figured out a way, found a YouTube video years ago, and it's a real inexpensive way, that you can have your dry erase board for pennies on a dollar, like dirt cheap, and it does the exact same thing, and you probably never thought about it. So I'll be sharing that tip with you guys on Facebook at my Homeschooling and Oils page, and tell you where you can get it. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your day.